Mm-hmm. Now, here's the thing, right? Okay, do you think Jesus, alright, like with Nathaniel or Simeon, right? People he was around, he can kind of read their body language. But that's not the same as knowing their thoughts, John, or writers of the Bible. Mm-hmm. These are people he knows are Jewish. That's why he knew Nathan was under the fig tree. Or Nathaniel, whoever it was, right? Why? It's a Jewish thing. It's a Jewish thing. And he saw him there, right? Now, what does that mean? It's kind of a reference to knowing Nathaniel's personality being that he's a Jew. Mm-hmm. Also looking for the Messiah. Mm-hmm. The problem is, though, they're also wanting to redeem Israel militarily. Mm-hmm. Which is why Jesus used the reference of, 10,000 to 20,000 too. If you have a larger army coming towards you, you try to send out emissaries or ambassadors to stave them off if you can. Now, some people may not even respond to that, again, like the Romans, right? But why do you think really it was only Jesus on the cross and only John and the women were there? Mm-hmm. Not the other 11 as well. Mm-hmm. After Jesus hung himself, right? During that time as well. Mm-hmm. Following morning, too, right? So again, right? The other 10, or is it 9 now, right? You know what I mean, right? All right. The other 10, that's right, were nowhere to be seen. Only John was at the cross, and that's why he changed his Stethos to Mastoid. Stupid. He couldn't see Jesus fully until he was on the cross, where he saw his shame. But is it really his shame or his strength that he saw his paps? Or mastois, according to the Greek word he used. So, no, it's not Satan that's all three, it's Jesus. But he's androgynous male and female, fool. He's not Moses and Elijah. They're dead. You cannot communicate with the dead. But who thought that? Peter, James, and John. Peter, James, and John. Why did they think that and not change it? Because Jesus explained it all to them anyway. Mm-hmm. They couldn't tell you the truth because their own superstitions about the Messiah. Mm-hmm. Which might mean, like with Matthias, they allotted Judas to betray them. No. Meaning they all wanted to betray him. And maybe John, was the only one to really resist that. But again, he's still part of the 12-man group, and he's outnumbered 11 to 1. And guess who gets the short stick? Judas. Now, they're not going to write this down in the goddamn Bible because they're too ashamed themselves to admit they betrayed Jesus themselves. You understand that, right, men? Why they wouldn't, men? Right. Women, too. Women can be just as bad as the men. That's the problem. You call evil good and good evil because you do not see good anymore. Mm-hmm. You're not even seeking it. You pretend to. Mm-hmm. You also have a closed mind to the truth, right? God can't even make a dent in your armor. Mm-hmm. Which ain't his armor. It's Satan's armor, too. If God has an armor to protect you from Satan's lies, right? But you're in them and don't even know it, right? Whose armor is protecting you then? Satan's. But guess what the difference is? His armor is rusted. His armor is defiled. His armor is not meant to protect you, but to hurt you. Mm-hmm. Right. Now, Sheena, you're right. God is not the author of confusion, but me and I. Now, there's only one way someone could have wrote you from thy ship with me writing handwritten letters, honey, by typewriter. Why do I know that? Common sense. And I watch Murder, She Wrote sometimes. What do you think? Right. Now, I'm still me you met on the fucking island. Who the fuck are you? You're not even the girl I even met there anymore. I don't know who this person is. If it's you too. But I'm telling you. Have you ever seen Sheena the movie? Have you? It's a movie. With Tanya Roberts. Maybe they quoted you some of the shit in there. I don't know. I don't know what they said. Right. But they're sure as hell not saying my feelings towards you. I'm the one trying to be there for you whether I got you pregnant or not. Trying to marry you in Jerusalem. Telling you God told me something about Jerusalem 3 times and asking your opinion about it. Whether you agree or disagree. I did not expect what I got either. I didn't know what the hell's going on with that. Now, who are you, Miss Johnson? Who's the real Sheena? The person I met on the island or the person after the island who might have got duped by my shipmates who were quid pro quoing me the whole time? Asking me if I was gay 3 times like in the freaking Highlander, right? Are you gay, Nash? No. Why, you cruising for a piece of ass, you ain't gonna get none with me. I didn't even go there, I just said no. Now, why do you think my prophecies, though, about rape included me? Not you, too. Not you alone. Them. They were making me in a pressure cooker. Because they weren't willing to accept that I was straight. You understand? Right. Even though I was with you, too. They plotted sabotage to break us up. Plus, if they're using the movie plot, which is what I'm guessing too, right? Or something like that, or something worse, I don't know. The movie plot talks about the Zambuli, whatever the shit was going on there, killing the whatchamacallits over there, right? Yeah. And the bad African prince who wanted to steal the kingdom from the other prince, or whatever was going on there in that story, in that movie. I don't remember all the details. I don't really follow the movie. I only saw it a couple times anyway. And last time I saw it was maybe last year. But the bad prince, okay, is talking about killing the Zambuli, which is the tribe that raised Sheena. Tanya Roberts' character. Okay. I don't even know what they said to you. I don't type well. I didn't even have a typewriter given access to me. Or a copier, or I would have copied Pastor Davis's Bible study sheet. Putting everything I did handwritten. Were you getting only typed messages or typed in handwritten messages? And you just chose to believe the one you can actually read better. I'm asking you that too, I don't know. See, if you're using the ones you can read better, that could have been them. No. Right, Gina? Or you just don't want to admit you were wrong. No. Now, if I did you wrong, alright, but I don't remember doing something like that, there is another possibility that it could have been the shipmates who were giving me a hard time on the ship. You're not me on my ship, Casey. I'm me. You don't know why I dated you, had sex with you like I did, and was talking about a normal relationship with you at first. Even if I got you pregnant. I was talking about marrying you whether I got you pregnant or not. That's me. The handwritten letters. Whatever else the fuck is typed is them. I don't have a fucking typewriter on that goddamn ship. I never owned one. I never used one, right? Not a day on that ship did I even touch a fucking typewriter, Sheena Johnson. At all. I didn't even have access to a fucking copier, like I said before, to even copy Pastor Davis's notes. Or his typed up Bible studies. I was handwriting those to you too, right? So why I'm not gonna do good things in the in the handwritten letters, but evil things you can read in the typed letters? That's stupid, right? I wasn't trying to break up with you, even if that's what your shipmates were telling you to. That was them. But you're not telling me, you're believing their lies. See? You're believing the typed message is me and not the handwritten message, which is all I can write to you. Ask my mom how I wrote her handwritten letters. Now, when I got me a word processor, yeah. I wrote letters for David and Myron and Brian and all that. Right. And I wrote it pretty much professional because it's a word processor and you can make sure you make a few typos. Hello? Right. Now, I'm guessing it could be you if my shipmates really got to you with whatever they said to you in the typed letters. Because you're not the same person I met on the island. I'm the same person you met on the island. I ain't changed. I'm still the singing chain. I'm still the loving person you met. I don't know who this Sheena is, but you're acting like you hate all men. Could be. If it's you. Unless you're wanting me to think it's Daphne. Which if it's Daphne, I think it has to do with her dad. And her trying to entrap me with her daughter, but I'm not fully taking the bait like she wants me to. And she has a problem with John being a boy, probably too. Right? And may have wanted to use that to try and abort him. Unfortunately, right. And get rid of him, too. She already told me she done aborted one baby. Well, she can't after the third trimester, and she was in the third trimester. Well, there's only one other way out of that. Prove me a criminal, but she couldn't if she said grandma. And she went to the police that night. You know what I mean? But there again, she has half a brain. She had a tumor in her head. She's not being rational either. I'm trying to appeal to whoever this person is, if they still have a heart, to listen to me and not my shipmates anymore. Or not your own evil relationship with your dad, whatever's going on there, or Sal, whatever's going on there, right? But that gives me, if the child let me undress her and let me undress in front of her, all that means if she saw a grown man naked before me, if she was comfortable with it, stupid, it wasn't me, I'd be the last one to have contact with her. Yes, not the first, but if she's that comfortable with it, honey, and I'm just trying to give her a bath, but I think better of it, and redress, and she says Grandma showed her that, and you don't think she's coached to say Grandma? Okay. Whatever. That's still a guess. It's not memory, honey. I have amnesia from whatever happened on base. Now, there's really no way for me to get off base without what? ID. So whatever happened on base, if it's someone on base, that's about the gay Navy. They were part of the gay Navy, I guess. That, too, gives me reasonable doubt, because if it's Daphne or Sheena, right? Alright? I still don't know, right? Or the shipmates. Ben and King have something to hide. Their treatment of you. Right. But only Ben and King really acted that way, because guess who's supposed to trade me? One or the other. One or the other. Guess who's low man on totem pole who's supposed to trade in you guys? Ben or King. Ben or King. The other guys were too high in rank. Now, they probably didn't do the same thing with Robinson, but he thought I was trying to screw him, right, with answering the question, right? But I got a little bit confused at first, Robinson. That's all that was. And I ain't been trained since 8th school to do anything. Thanks for asking, by the way. What really happened? I believe in Ben and King, obviously, over me. That's what I mean, too. When I'm trying to tell you something, I'm trying to help you out, but I ain't been to A schools. you're fresh from it, you're right, that made you look bad. But it wasn't intentionally my fault. Ben and King hadn't been training me. Now, they might have not did you the same way, but it's not how they're doing you, it's how they're doing me, friend. They're not after your ass, they're after mine. Like I said. They're trying to make me gay. Now, I don't even know I fucked King's wife or something like that, but what's going on? See, I try to stay away from such things, right? Two, even if you're calling me gay. Unless he's acting weird towards his wife himself, because of being a king dude, I don't know, right? And maybe the former guy got him into it too. Because like I said, this is pattern, right? A pattern, if you're doing it in the Navy, you're familiar with. Someone gave it the idea to King first, right? To do it to me. Now, what he's saying is, Shane, you look like you're feminine enough and this enough and that enough that no one will believe you anyway. And I can even diagnose you with paranoid schizophrenic on top of it, Sheena. Using you to do all that to me. But don't believe me. I didn't even touch a typewriter on that shit. Plus, I wasn't a good typist anyway. See, I make natural mistakes with it. Because, again, I have kind of a vision problem. And I didn't really learn to type well in school. All I have to do is get my transcripts from Effingham, honey. And you would see I didn't do too good in typing. But why ain't I? I shouldn't have to. My word is my bond. And like I was trying to tell you, wasn't trying to dump you. But they might have been trying to sabotage our relationship by quoting the movie to you. Especially the part about them killing the Zambuli, which is the name of the tribe Sheena was from, who adopted her, even though she was white. Now, the bad guy was talking about killing the entire people. I don't know if anything else they might could have told you, right? Off the top of my head, right? Because your name is the same as the movie. They might even thought you weren't a real person yourself. I don't know what they were doing, honey. Any more than you want to admit it was them doing it to you. I don't know they were doing it to you either. If you know what I mean. I don't know they would do that to you, right? Or go that far. You know what I mean? Right? If they did, right? But that's what they're using, okay? To confuse you and me still. The letters they wrote in my name, right? Which they can only sign them if they use one of my red tags, right? To do that. Because all you do is tear them up when you're done and throw them in the trash. Honey. And my signature is kind of penmanship, right? Writing. I do the S with a little loop and then H-A-N-E. L-E-E. It's not like my name's complicated. It's 8 letters long. 5 and 3, 5 and 3. S-H-A-N-E-L-E-E. And that don't seem biblical to you, though. Edward. E-D-W-A-R-D. That's 6 and 8. What's that? 14. 14. Well, there are 7 churches times 2, but whatever. I don't know. I can what? Only guess. I don't know everything. But all I can do is tell you my version, right? Of what I know I would do, right? You don't know me, right? If you know my shipmate's type version of me, that's not me, right? I can't convince a person who's afraid to even talk to me normally anymore because she thinks I'm doing the same thing as before, right? Trying to trick her like I even know it's you anymore, right? All this is guesswork, honey. I don't even know what you would look like in your 50s, right? Or 40s, right? You were only about 4 years younger than me when we met anyway. I was 23 and you're 19. So if I'm 50, you're what, 46? Right? That's what? Common sense stuff, right? But again, I cannot talk to a person who's done made up their mind prejudiced against me because my shipmates made you prejudiced against me by typing you letters. That's a question. I don't know. And you don't even have the decency to listen to my explanation. Well, I didn't even have access to a typewriter on the ship. If they did, no. That's not a memory. Oh, no. That's a guess as to what they did too, right? Same as I'm guessing if the stepdaughter came to me or not and someone was accusing me of molesting her, what would have went down that Daphne could confuse it with if she is trying to use the child as bait. Mm-hmm. Which again is crazy on her and would implicate her dad or her ex-boyfriend anyway. Because if she's doing all that with me and saying grandma, that don't mean grandma did all that with her. But two males could have, or one male, I don't know. Right? I'm guessing. I'm making it up because someone knows she did something with me. Well, that would be Daphne, right? Who was actually there that night, right? Trying to interrupt me when I thought she was asleep and I was just trying to help the girl go to the bathroom, right? Or take a bath, right? The other person would be Sheena or someone else. Oh no. Trying to change the story, right? When only thing you would tell your wife, whether she came in there or not, is the first story anyway. And whether you did the second story or not, you're not sure either, but you're trying to figure out what they mean, right? From there on out, right? It's not an admission of anything criminal either. You're just not believing me that I have a sister. That would be Sheena, though. She never met Renee. Do you not? Did I not tell you I have a sister who I helped raise? No, I didn't. Did I? You wouldn't let me. No. Well, I have a sister who was born in 1982, who I raised till I went into the Navy. So I've been around girls, right? I know how to deal with young children too, right? If they're telling you that shit in the type letters as well, but I don't want any or whatever. I have no clue what they told you. I don't know the sequence of the letters or the order of the letters or what they were even saying in the letters. And I'm guessing that they wrote something about the movie Sheena because your name is Sheena. Right? That's the only thing I might can somewhat guess if they said some of the stuff in that movie to you, right? But Zambuli is the tribe that adopted Sheena if they're using that shit. I don't know. And basically the plot is her plane gets shot down and again they're seeking for this cure that the Zambuli land gives them, right? And again, right? She then gets adopted by the tribe because something happens to her mom and dad in the story, right? They get shot or murdered or whatever, right? And they raise her in the jungle, and she does this to communicate to the animals. Right, Tanya? Right, maybe. Anyway. Not. Oh! Sorry, me. Okay.